Hey, how's it going? Today we're going to talk about Starfield and the Bethesda developers because things have just gotten worse. Not only that, but I'm also going to update you guys on some bugs that have just been confirmed to be fixed. So today we're going to be going over a lot of information. Make sure that you are subscribed and you have those notifications turned on. Give this video a like and let's go ahead and dive right into it. The last few months for Bethesda has been quite rough as of recently, with all the negative reviews and some of the backlash that they have been facing as of late. Well, with that being said, things have just gotten worse for Bethesda. The fact is, the last few months have been quite dreadful when it comes down to the Steam reviews, and I'm not talking about the players that are giving negative feedback. No. What I'm talking about is some of the automated responses that the developers have been giving to the reviewers. If you have checked out my previous video from prior, then you may have seen this exact comment right here. Now, the sad part is that a good portion of the reviewers are receiving the same exact response, but get this, it's sort of cut up in different sections, but it's pretty much the same thing. So now what you're taking a look at here is countless reviews. Most of them are negative, but on top of that, if you take a look at the bottom, it says developers response. Now get this, they have done countless responses, not even just this month, but last month. And it's the same exact thing. Sure, again, like I mentioned before, it's the same exact thing, but it's sort of cut up. For example, Bethesda Falco Yamaoka says right here, some of Starfield planets are meant to be empty by design, but that's not boring. When the astronauts went to the moon, there was nothing there. They certainly weren't bored. The intentions of Starfield exploration is to evoke a feeling of smallness in players and make you feel overwhelmed. You can continue to explore and find worlds that do have resources you need or hidden outposts to look through. And again, I'm sure some of you are aware of this sentence right here because I have read it about a month or two ago, and this response right here is the same as this response right here, which is a different developer. This time we have Bethesda_Kraken. Now, if you take a look about midway in between this paragraph, you're going to see right here, it says this same exact thing. Now, forgive me, I'm only going to read the first portion. Quote, some of the Starfield planets are meant to be empty by design, but that's not boring. End quote. Now, right there, that's ridiculous that they would even throw a comparison like that because, well, I don't know if anybody knows this yet, but we're playing a video game. Sure, if this was called Starfield Simulation or something like that, then I'd be like, okay, that's understandable because you're going to the moon, you're going to be experiencing some sort of simulation, so why would there be any people up there? If that was the case and this was a planet simulator, then I would completely understand that. But this game right here is an RPG, an open world, and it's nothing close to a simulator. I guess you could say it because you're going on planets and whatnot, but to be real, I don't understand the comparison between the moon and this and that and what they're trying to kind of convey here. So now you might be thinking, well, what's so wrong with all these responses, Glitch? What are you talking about? Well, what I'm talking about here is that if you respond to so many people like this with the same exact response, it has no emotion, it has no power. And if you're the one that left a review and you're just looking on there like, oh cool, a developer left me a comment, this is going to be great. And then you come to find out that this is the same exact response that they have been giving to just about everyone. What's worse is even if you do have some solid points in your negative review, Bethesda, the developers over here, will then give you the same exact response, but they're pretty much telling you that you have to enjoy the game. Games are supposed to be subjective, I feel. They're supposed to be hated or supposed to be liked. It just depends on your preference. My main gripe here is that if they do continuously respond back to the backlash like this, it's not going to have any sort of power or any sort of emotion that's going to be like, okay, this developer right here actually left a response in his own words instead of just something that Bethesda gave them. I believe if they continue to do this same exact response where it just seems emotionless, then I think it's going to make things worse for Bethesda and Starfield in general. The only reason why I say this is because at that point, are they even listening to their feedback or the community in general, which is quite concerning. I mean, even the reviews have taken a significant hit in the last 2 months. For example, if you take a look on the screen here, this is from October 19th, 2023, and if you take a look on the top right, it says mixed and mostly positive. Then if you fast forward a month later, this is when things start to take a hit disastrously. So if you take a look on the top right, what you're going to see at the top is going to be recent reviews mixed and all reviews mixed. This right here was screenshot on 11th, 19th, 2023. Then if we fast forward a few days later, you're going to see that it has risen up to 8,000, almost 9,000 mixed reviews. The sad thing is, a lot of us thought that Starfield was going to be Game of the Year, and it appears to not be the case anymore. Let me know what you think down below, whether or not you think that Starfield is Game of the Year, or if it's not. Better yet, let me know what you think about what the developers have said in the last few months. Do you think it's just repetitive? Let me know down below in the comments. So with that being said, let's go on and move towards the next bit of information. The last month or two, I've been updating you guys on exactly what's going on behind the scenes over at Bethesda. Now you might be thinking, how do I know exactly what's going on behind the scenes? Well, if you take a look over at Bethesda.net, they reveal a lot of information in terms of bugs, fixes, and a bunch of things like that, really. For not just Starfield, but for a lot of games. The cool thing is, they have updated some things over here. For example, this mission right here, Burden of Proof, is now going to be resolved, but they're looking into the issue first. For example, right here, you can see that the developers left this comment down below by saying, "We have received reports of players experiencing issues with the mission Burden of Proof." This is all that they've left right here, so I do not know exactly what's going on, but if you have been experiencing some problems with that mission, let me know down below. Continuing on with the next mission that they are planning on fixing, but they're taking a look at it, which is going to be rough landings. The developers left this at the bottom, which is pretty much the same exact thing as before. Quote, "We have received reports of players experiencing issues with the mission rough landings," end quote. This is another mission that they've yet to explain exactly what's going on, but again, if you have experienced something with that, let me know exactly what's going on with this. If we continue on towards the next mission that they are planning on fixing, but they're taking a look at, is going to be Operation Starseed. If you take a look at the bottom, it says, "We have received reports of players experiencing issues with the mission Operation Starseed." And so yeah, it's pretty much the same exact thing. There's nothing really too descriptive about this on exactly what's going on with the current issue. But that's pretty much it for just missions. They are taking a look at those 3 specific ones. If you have some problems with those, then you might be excited to know that, yeah, it's being looked into, but there's nothing being resolved just yet. But the good news, if you did not know, they are resolving the issues with the penthouse. If you have any problems with cargo links or anything with robotics, they are also fixing that problem as well. Not to mention, if you have been losing some of your items due to the mannequin inside of your ship or wherever, then guess what? It's going to be resolved as well. That's another big problem going around. If you would like to check out that information specifically, then what I recommend is checking out one of my previous videos, and if not, I will leave a link down below so that you can be sent straight to that video. Last but not least, I have been receiving some comments about whether or not there's going to be another beta. I have answered this question specifically before, but pretty much what's going on is that there's no information just yet from Bethesda, or if there's anything that's been updated over on SteamDB. The only branches that have been updated as of late is dev_tech. Usually we see something with beta, QA staging main, flight, and all those other ones, but the only one that's been updated is dev_tech. So nothing yet in terms of whether or not we're going to be receiving a beta here soon, but typically this website right here does give you an idea when the next beta patch or pretty much any patch will come out. With that information to the side, I do want to talk about Starfield, or really just Bethesda's future, because as of late it seems like they're heading in the worst direction possible with numerous bugs popping up in Starfield. The developers are responding with automated messages, and it really just feels like Bethesda has lost all communication with its fan base, which is kind of depressing. If they continue to go down this trend where they only respond with automated messages, or possibly they release a game that's unpolished, then I'm afraid that Elder Scrolls 6 or even Fallout 5 might suffer as well in the future. Let me know what you think down below. This is pretty much the end of the video. If you have any questions, comment down below. I will be answering within the first hour or two. Thank you guys for the support, and I'll see you all in the next video.